When it comes to playing guitar, sometimes what you don't play is as important as what you do play. Today we're going to be talking about rests. Now, rest is a concept in music where we're inserting silence instead of playing a note, and I think it's actually one of the most overlooked, underrated parts of music theory and playing guitar, and I think it's going to help you play guitar better and help you feel like a rock star, which that means being able to learn and play guitar with less effort. So let's dive right in. In music, the kind of notes that we play can vary in their rhythmic length. So that means how many beats everything lasts. So in music, everything is based on beats, and the beat is the heartbeat of the music. It usually, not always, usually it's the same speed throughout an entire song, right? Unless you go listen to Stairway to Heaven or songs where the tempo actually literally does change. Tempo is the speed, how fast or slow the beat is. But for the most part with songs, you have the beat and it's one speed the whole time. Then all the rhythm that gets played is based on that beat. So we'll have notes that we play that last for one beat. We call those quarter notes. We have notes that get played that last for two beats that we call half notes. We have 4-beat notes called whole notes. And then we also have half a beat notes. So it takes 2 of them that you play within 1 beat. And so those are called eighth notes. And those can get divided when we can play 4 notes within 1 beat, so each note is worth 1/4 of 1 beat, or 1/16 of a measure. Those are called 16th notes. Now, most people, when they're learning, they learn all these different things. They learn quarter notes, half notes, whole notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, dotted notes, all that stuff, right? But one of the most overlooked things is also recognizing that each one of those length of notes, 1 beat, 2 beats, 4 beats, 3 beats with dots, half a beat, quarter of a beat, all that fun stuff. Those each have a corresponding rest. Now, what the heck is a rest? A rest in music is when we insert silence instead of having a note played. So, for example, I could take a chord like this and I could play a half note where it lasts for 2 beats. So if my beat is this, we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. This would go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That is a half note. I played it for 2 beats, but the silence after that is just as important. So if I hold that out for 4 beats, I'm going to play my chord for 2 beats, and then I'm going to rest for 2 beats, which means we're going to have silence, okay? And that'll go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, to do that, I'm releasing my hand down here so that the strings that I'm fretting are actually stopping. So I'm just releasing the pressure so that the note will stop. And then I'm taking my picking hand and just resting it across the strings so that any open strings will also stop. It's kind of a simultaneous thing. But that idea of stopping and inserting silence is crucial, because here's the thing. A constant stream of notes. If we're just playing eighth notes and quarter notes and stuff like that, eventually it's gonna get kind of boring. It's not gonna sound very good. So inserting silence into, whether we're playing chords or we're playing single notes, like playing melodies and scales and soloing and stuff like that, inserting silence is going to help you create more interesting sounding rhythms and melodies, and it's going to make everything that you play sound better. Now let's look at how to do this with chords. First, just with open chords, let's do this. I'm just going to take a simple chord progression. I'm just going to change between G and C, okay? And I'm going to insert rest or silence on beat number 2 and beat number 4. But here is the trick. I'm not going to add a muted strum. We've talked about doing that in other videos where you're doing this. And my pick is actually hitting the dead strings. So I take my palm and I put it on the strings and I hit those dead strings with my pick, right? No, I'm going to insert silence and rest for half a beat on beat number 2 and half a beat on beat number 4. So this is what we call an eighth rest. So rather than playing an eighth note here, I'm going to rest for half a beat. So that'll sound like this. Now we can use that and we can create all sorts of different strum patterns. So now let's show you how you can do this with power chords. Now it's really common with power chords to just be playing straight eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But let's do this. Let's insert a rest just like we did with our open chords on beat number 2 and beat number 4. And what we're gonna get is this kind of cool sounding thing. We're gonna go. Sounds kind of familiar. Does it sound familiar to you? What if I palm mute it? Try this. That is the main riff, the intro to All My Life by Foo Fighters. Great song. And it's that easy. It's a G power chord, and you're gonna palm mute that power chord, and you're gonna play downstrokes 1 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. Now that riff happens just because there are 2 rests that happen in the measure and that pattern repeats. So it sounds really cool because we're just adding in a rest. If it was just this, not nearly as cool sounding as. So here's something cool that you can do with this when you're doing this with either open chords for strumming stuff or with power chords with other strumming. What I want you to do is take a full measure of notes, right? Or take any strum pattern that you know. Like we've covered strum patterns in other videos. What you can do is just write this down in your notebook. You're going to write 8 eighth notes like this. This is your full measure, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to start erasing eighth notes and inserting rests. Now, the rest that you insert can be different lengths too. You could say, oh, well, we're going to insert an eighth note rest, which lasts for half a beat, just like an eighth note does. Or right here, I'm going to insert a quarter rest, right? What if we took a strum pattern like this and we went 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. And what if we just rested for beat 3 and we went 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3. New strum pattern for you. Right? And you don't even have to do anything new. You just have to insert silence. And inserting silence can make things more interesting, which make you play better as a guitar player and help you feel like a rock star. Now, does this apply to scales and arpeggios and playing lead? Absolutely it does, because a constant stream of notes, at least in the kind of music that I play, it gets boring after a while. So what you would do is, rather than just having a regular scale run where you're just running up and down a scale, you have to insert silence in different places. And by inserting that silence, it's going to allow you to create more space and create more interesting sounding rhythm, more interesting phrasing, and it's just going to make you sound a whole lot better. That's just an example off the top of my head of just trying to throw in some more rests into soloing and just improvising, making it up off the top of my head. Because using rests like this, rather than just constantly thinking about, oh, what note am I going to play next? It gives your phrases and the notes that you do play more time to breathe, more time to for the listener to think about and for them to process what the heck is happening. Now, thinking about inserting rests and inserting silence into playing lead and playing solos like that is a little bit more challenging. But it is the kind of thing that you can you can just take the scale and instead of running it straight up and down, insert some rests to change it up. And just by doing that, you're going to change it and make it feel more melodic. It's going to sing a little bit more, because a lot of times that's what makes a melody great, is its rhythm. And not every great melody is a constant stream of never-ending notes. Now, when it comes to guitar riffs are made from rhythm. Listen to this. If we play this, that riff is good because it's got rests. It's not this. If we take the rest out of it and we just let everything ring out, it sounds boring. Or if we just go, lame, right? But if we add in the rest where we take some silence and throw it into the mix, rests are what make it sound really cool. And you can think of other great riffs too that use space between the notes, whether it's rhythmically by playing longer notes like half notes, or it's inserting silence by using rests. Many of the greatest guitar riffs rely on rests. Like, check this one out. Rests! That's what makes it sound good. Or this one. Right? It's the rests that make that riff sound really good. So rests are the most underrated, most overlooked tool that you can use to be a better guitar player and to feel like a rock star whenever you play for people. So here are the big things that you need to take away from this. One, what you don't play is as important as what you do play. Music isn't just made up of notes. You need to use silence. The intelligent use of silence in your playing, whether it's with chords or whether it's lead playing or power chords, using rests is going to make you sound better. It's going to make you a better guitar player, which in turn is going to help you feel like a rock star when you go to play. So as you are practicing this week, I want you to focus on your rests, using rests. Now, I hope that was fun for you. I hope that made rests clear and their importance clear. Don't overlook rests. Make sure that you use silence, whether you're playing someone else's music or you're writing your own. Don't be afraid to use silence because it will make everything else stand out. So thanks for watching today. If you got a lot out of this video and it was helpful for you, leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you liked the most about these rests, and I've got something else for you too. I've got a gift for you. If you go to simpleguitar.com/top10, there I have a gift called the Top 10 Things to Learn on Guitar First. And this is 10 things that I like to teach people that get them a lot of bang for their buck. So it's the least amount of effort to get the most results. And that is how you feel like a rock star when you were playing guitar. Less effort, more results, right? So go to simpleguitar.com/top10, download that guide for free, have fun with it. Thanks for watching today, and I will catch you in the next video.